Welcome to Idea TV News at 9. I am Cynthia Basi. We begin with the headlines. FG reaffirms commitment to global aviation safety regulations. In Uganda and Kenya break ground on $500 million DEVKI mega steel plant. Kenya secures duty-free access to Malaysian markets for farm goods. Benin Digital Minister urges West Africa to move beyond siloed approaches in digitalization. And away from Africa, China pledges technical support for modernization of Nigeria's seaports. While in health, Nigeria moves to curb antibiotic misuse and fight antimicrobial resistance. In business, system inefficiencies cost IBOM Air 32 billion naira annually. And last in sports, LOOKMAN and ONYEDIKA eye UEFA Champions League survivor. And now the news in full. Nigeria has reiterated its dedication to upholding international aviation safety standards as the country's delegation led by Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo participated in the 42nd Assembly of the International Civil Aviation Organization in Montreal, Canada. Keyamo conveyed President Bola Tinubu's greetings, commended ICAO's leadership and reaffirmed Nigeria's adherence to the principles of the Chicago Convention, the Montreal Protocol and other global aviation treaties. Highlighting Nigeria's investment in airport infrastructure, air navigation systems and capacity building, Keyamo emphasized the nation's role as a strategic aviation hub in West Africa. He outlined support for the Global Aviation Safety Plan, Global Air Navigation Plan and Global Aviation Security Plan, while stressing the country's advocacy for the single African air transport market and compliance with international environmental and security standards. In a major diplomatic success, Nigeria's candidate, Engineer Mahmoud Ben Takor, was re-elected into Part 2 of the ICAO Council, receiving 163 out of 185 votes. The victory strengthens Nigeria's voice in shaping global aviation policies and ensures continued engagement in regional and international aviation governance. Moving on, Uganda and Kenya have launched construction of the $500 million DEVKI mega steel plant in Tororo, eastern Uganda near the Kenyan border. The facility, backed by Kenyan industrialists Narendra Raval and the DEVKI Group, is expected to produce 1 million tons of steel annually and generate up to 20,000 jobs by 2027. Uganda, which holds 500 million tons of iron ore deposits, currently loses around $5 billion annually to steel imports. The project aligns with President Yoweri Museveni's policy of banning unprocessed mineral exports to encourage local value addition and reduce the region's trade deficit. Officials say the plant will position Uganda as a net steel exporter and strengthen regional industrial supply chains. Both President Museveni and Kenyan President William Ruto hailed the initiative as a milestone for East African industrialization. Museveni highlighted the project's role in retaining African resources and jobs, while Ruto emphasized its potential to create youth employment, bolster regional value chains, and advance the region's goal of industrial self-sufficiency. Moving on, Kenya has secured duty-free access to Malaysia for its agricultural exports, a move expected to significantly boost trade in tea, coffee, flowers, avocados, and titanium ores. The agreement was signed during a meeting in Nairobi between Kenyan President William Ruto and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, marking a major milestone in bilateral cooperation between the two nations. President Ruto described the removal of tariffs as especially significant, noting that it opened up Malaysia's food market to Kenyan products at a time when the Asian country imports an average of $21.7 billion worth of food annually, including cereals, dairy, beef, and fruits. The duty-free access is expected to increase Kenya's agricultural export revenues, which reached nearly $3 billion in the 2025-2026 fiscal year. The partnership underscores Kenya's ambition to expand its agricultural footprint globally, aiming to grow its agri-export sector to $3 billion by tapping into high-demand international markets. In another news, Benin hosted the first regional summit on digital transformation in West and Central Africa bringing together officials from 22 countries to discuss inclusion, connectivity, and artificial intelligence. The summit, a joint initiative of the Beninese government and the World Bank, aimed to harmonize national digital strategies and foster regional cooperation. Speaking on the sidelines, Benin's Minister of Digital and Digitalization, Uriel Adam Sole Zomaru, emphasized that while countries have made progress individually, West Africa must move beyond siloed approaches. The minister highlights the youth gap in digital adoption, noting that access alone is not enough. Factors such as affordability, relevant content, and digital skills must be addressed alongside connectivity. Benin has tackled these challenges through initiatives like the Alafia microcredit services, which has encouraged women to engage with digital tools. Zamora also called for regional approaches to lower device and data costs and shared AI infrastructure, stressing that cooperation is key to accelerating digital transformation across West and Central Africa. We'll now go on a quick break. The news continues when we return.
Smart apps. Smart apps leverage AI and machine learning to provide personalized user experiences and automate tasks. These apps are being used across sectors like finance, healthcare, and retail to improve customer engagement and operational efficiency. For example, smart investment apps offer tailored financial advice, while healthcare apps assist in diagnostics. However, data privacy remains a concern as these apps collect sensitive user information. The market for smart apps is projected to grow to $62.4 billion by 2025.
Good to have you back. Now, away from Africa, China has pledged technical and diplomatic support to help Nigeria modernize and automate operations across its seaports, reinforcing the growing maritime partnership between the two countries. The commitment was made by China's Vice Minister of Transport, Li Yang, during a bilateral meeting with Nigeria's Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Dr. Adeboyega Oyetola, on the sidelines of maritime engagements in London. Liang confirmed China's backing for Nigeria in the upcoming International Maritime Organization (IMO) Council election and announced plans to provide maritime education and capacity-building opportunities for Nigerian youths. Both countries agreed to enhance technical cooperation and work towards a bilateral memorandum of understanding to formalize collaboration in port digitalization, maritime safety, shipbuilding and repair, inland waterways development, and maritime environmental protection. Nigeria's Apapa and Tinkan Island ports have recently received federal government approval of $1 billion for modernization projects aimed at expanding capacity, improving cargo handling, introducing paperless systems, and reducing turnaround time. Minister Oyetola emphasized that similar upgrades will be extended to ports outside Lagos as part of a 10-year marine and blue economy strategy, with China's expertise expected to boost operational efficiency, competitiveness, and global trade performance. Now in health, as the world observes Antimicrobial Resistance AMR Awareness Week, Nigeria is confronting the growing threat of antibiotic misuse. Experts warn that over-the-counter sales of drugs like amoxicillin, ciprofloxacin, and tetracycline, coupled with self-medication and counterfeit medicines, are driving resistance, contributing to an estimated 60,000 deaths annually. Despite regulations requiring prescriptions for antibiotics, enforcement gaps remain, allowing unsafe access and widespread misuse. Hospitals report resistance rates far above global averages, while economic barriers and limited public awareness exacerbates the problem. Authorities led by NAFDAC are rolling out long-term solutions, including digital verification of prescriptions, compliance-linked licensing for pharmacies and patent medicine shops, community-based monitoring teams, and public awareness campaigns. 9 business news: systemic operational and infrastructure inefficiencies are causing the IBOM Air to lose more than 32 billion naira every year, acting CEO George Oriesi has revealed. Speaking at the FAN National Aviation Conference in Lagos, Oriesi said the airline's aircraft operate only 5.5 to 6 hours daily, far below the 10-hour benchmark seen in Europe, creating a significant productivity gap with direct financial consequences. Each underutilized aircraft cost IBOM Air 3.6 billion naira in losses annually, Oriasi explained. With the airline's fleet of 9 Airbus A220s, total losses exceed 32 billion naira each year. The CEO attributed much of the inefficiency to outdated airport infrastructure and air traffic management challenges, citing Abuja Airport as a major bottleneck where procedural ATC operations replaced radar systems, leading to prolonged flight holding patterns, fuel wastage, and safety risks. Beyond infrastructure, Oriasi highlighted the limitations of operating small fleets, stressing that larger fleets improve utilization, risk absorption, and negotiating power. And now to sports news. Super Eagles stars Ademola Lookman and Raphael ONYEDIKA face crucial fixture as their clubs battle to stay in contention for the UEFA Champions League knockout stages. Lookman's Atlanta sits 13th in the group standings with 7 points from 4 games, while ONYEDIKA's club Bruges are 22nd with 4 points, leaving both sides in urgent need of positive results. Atlanta hosts Eintracht Frankfurt on Wednesday, seeking to climb into the top 8 automatic qualification spots under new coach Rafael Palladino, who has expressed strong confidence in Lookman. Meanwhile, Bruges travel to Sporting Lisbon in a do-or-die clash, aiming to recover from inconsistent performances that include draws with Barcelona and losses to Atlanta and Bayern Munich. Lookman, who has scored once in 11 appearances this season, remains linked with a potential January transfer to Galatasaray, while ONYEDIKA faces a battle to help the 19-time Belgian champions preserve their playoff hopes. Both players' performances this week could prove decisive for their team's Champions League campaigns. And now that's all we have for you on Idea TV News at 9. But before we go, here's the recap of the headlines. The federal government reaffirms commitment to global aviation safety regulations, and Uganda and Kenya break ground on $500 million DEVKI mega steel plant. Kenya secures duty-free access to Malaysian market for farm goods, while Benin digital minister urges West Africa to move beyond siloed approaches in digitalization. Away from Africa, China pledges technical support for modernization of Nigeria's seaports. And in health, Nigeria moves to curb antibiotic misuse and fight antimicrobial resistance. In business, systems inefficiencies cost IBOM Air 32 billion naira annually. And lastly, in sport, Lookman and ONYEDIKA are UEFA Champions League survivor. And now do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Cynthia Bassi. Thank you for your time.